Oh, hi. Welcome to this week's class where we're moving on at last. Many of you have been waiting patiently for us to start using the canvases and the paints, and this is the week we're going to start it. So I am working on the canvas just now. All of you should have managed to get this weeks ago with all the information I sent you and the Blick Art Store. I don't know if you have a mirror, but if you don't have that, just take a selfie with your camera and use that from the phone. I am drawing directly onto the canvas from this mirror. You have been practicing over the last weeks to learn how to do every single feature of the face. Quite a strong sun today. It's a big change in weather, so I'm outside. You've done the nose, you've done the eyes, you've done the mouth, you've done the ears, you've been shown the proportions of the face, 1/3, 1/3 and 1/3. You've been shown where the neck goes. Now all of those are available still on the videotapes, which are still on Blackboard, so you know, you can always go over those slowly and try and understand them if you feel that you can't really get it. You know, we've got all sorts of people in the class, from people who really don't paint to people who do a lot of painting, and of course for those who don't do anything, this is all entirely new. So take your time, no stress, it's art, relax, go into it slowly and surely, okay? So here I am. I'm just going to do some more features here. Now it's up to you how much you want to do on this underdrawing. I'm going straight on the canvas. Now, if you've done a lot of work on the paper that you've been drawing on and you want to use it, you're welcome. Here's one I just drew on that quickly. But one way of putting it onto the canvas is just to cover the back of the drawing. So there's the drawing on the front here, and then take the back, just cover it with pencil. Really give it a good covering. Now I'm going to say this slowly so that you understand it. This is only if you want to do this. I prefer going straight onto the canvas and drawing with what I've learnt already. But if you want to do this, you're welcome. You can take that, cover the whole back of the drawing with pencil, not the front, the back. The reason I'm saying that is because we always get somebody who covers the front of it. It's incredible. So just cover the back of the paper with pencil, and then you can trace. You know, you'll get the shape of it through if you trace on top of it. That's if you want to do that. I'm not suggesting you do that. I'm just giving you an extra input, okay? I prefer drawing straight on the canvas, and I recommend just going straight into the canvas because you can correct everything that's gone wrong before. And most of you have been drawing the face as a generic face based on my examples, and of course you're drawing your own face, so you know, if you've drawn a generic, there's no point in tracing it. By generic I just mean the general shapes. So off we go around here. Try and get the lips. Now, like I say, it's up to you how much you do of this underdrawing. I mean, if you want to go into it a lot, you're welcome. It might give you more confidence when you come to do the start of the painting. put this. Of course, you'll probably be wearing something different every time you come back to your painting, so I just put a general shape in here. I usually always wear shirts, so one shirt will look much like another. God, I tell you, it's really getting pretty warm here. Okay, so is that starting to look like anything for you? So I'll do a rough here with the pencil. Now remember that he's got cheeks. Now you'll remember the positioning of the eyes. One eye and then the space of one eye, and then you start the other eye. I've got this frown here, so I'm putting it in. And the lips, the top lip darker than the bottom lip. And the little shaping lines on the lips that I showed you. Then the shadow under the chin. Like that. See, every week we go over the same stuff, building up on it bit by bit by bit, like onion leaves and layers. That's the guy. So, at around this time, you could look at starting to do the underpainting. For that you'll need the palette. It's this thing. Just going to take a couple of the smaller brushes from that set. Now, if you got the 12 colours, you will have this shade, which is called Burnt Sienna. Take some of this. You also need to have 2 jars for water. One jar is for cleaning the brush, and the other jar is clean water for painting with. So you have 1 jar for dirty water and 1 jar for clean water. Okay? So for this beginning, we're going to just use burnt sienna. Now we're at this stage, all we're going to be doing is painting the what's known as the underpainting. Okay. And just, doesn't matter what colour your hair is, just give it a quick going over with the same colour. Because this is going to be painted over. Once this is not like doing your school paintings with poster paints. This is more professional, where you work in layers. Now hopefully you've got all these brushes so you can use lots of them. I'm going to use this here. I don't, you know, you might be working on a table, so you don't have to worry about drips if you're on a table. I've got this thing upright, but I'm not worrying about the drips because I'm going to paint, well, they'll dry and I'll paint them over later. You always start a painting very loose and you finish it tight. Don't start tight and finish loose. So I'm going very loose at the beginning, just getting the shapes. So I'm getting the shadow coming in here. There. Now, that's really all you need, you know. By the time that dries, we will be ready to start one of the next layers. But at the beginning, when you start doing a professional painting, all you need to do is block it in like this. Let it dry, and as I say, in the process of time, you'll be building up more layers on top of it. So that's the first exercise in using the canvas. Getting the drawing onto the canvas. Use a mirror or use your telephone. Take a selfie, work from that. Then using this color, read that? Burnt Sienna. It's a kind of reddish brown. That's the first layer for the face. Let that dry, and that is the underpainting, which has got shadows and the sense of the face. Okay. It was hard to see myself because I've got to be honest, the sun is right in my eyes, you know, but never mind, you know, that'll give a kind of certain look to the painting. So that's it for this week. Nice and easy. Don't worry about it. You're going to actually just start to model the face slowly with that one color, burnt sienna. Slowly develop it. Let it dry before we move on to the next week's stage. It'll slowly build up layer by layer by layer by layer by layer by layer, incrementally over the weeks until eventually you have a face that looks pretty good. Especially if you've never painted before, you might be surprised how much you learn from these classes. So that's it. This is the 7th week, and at this point in the game we are starting work on the canvas, on the painting, what is called the underpainting. Okay, so I'll talk to you later. Face is on the canvas, transferred onto the canvas. and the first stage is launched. Burnt Sienna, work on that. And as I said, you know, work at your own pace. If you can't manage to get the brown done this week, just get the drawing done on the canvas. I know all of you are overworked, overstressed, over-COVIDed, etc. So we're all working under strain. So don't worry, I understand. Just text or email me your circumstances and I will give you all the support that I can. Okay, my dears, I'll talk to you later. That's this week. Uncle Ian, who knows? It's not as good looking as me. Okay, take care, guys. Bye bye. The thing that never